Hello, friends, family, and everyone in between. Quick little editor's note here from Mike. Just wanted to let you know that this episode was filmed shortly after the March 18th shooting in Atlanta. And we want to let you know that we do briefly talk about this with our guest. But just as a reminder, show some love to the members of the AAPI community. Be good to one another. And let's get to this episode. Hello, friends, family, and everyone in between. You are listening to the FillGood podcast, the podcast where we chat with interesting people and talk to them about what's good with them and the good they put in the world. I am one of your hosts, Mike Osgood.
And I am another one of your hosts, Byron Filler. I thought we were on talk radio for a second, and then you said, we're on a podcast. You were very convincing.
You know, I try sometimes, and it sometimes
those elocution lessons are really working.
Yeah, it's called my college degree. I use it. That communications degree comes in handy every so often. Byron, how are you doing, you beautiful man?
I am doing good. So this week I am getting married.
No shit.
I know. I've talked a little bit about it, but this is the week. This coming Saturday, my beautiful fiance and I'm finally going to be able to call her my wife. I feel like every now and then I actually have been catching myself calling her my wife. Just because, we've been together for so long, we have been living together for so long, I think I have a little bit of a frustration of, we've already started our lives, who are we doing this for again?
I got two things for you. One, very disappointed the lack of a Borat accent when you say my wife.
No, I was about to mention that.
Two, hit me up when you've been doing it for 11 years, brother.
Fair enough. Here's what I'll say, because we decided to do this just during this pandemic, and it was important that we just we do this to get our lives started. It was a couple reasons, and leading up to it, it was just seeing how everything was going, not being able to predict the future and all of this. We were trying to calculate all of the crap that was flying our way in terms of just trying to accommodate other people, and realizing, if we accommodate everything, and just in order for everyone to be here safely, it'll be another 2 years before we can get married. We just cannot wait that long to get married. The other part of this equation too is that Marissa's dad is a stroke survivor, and every day with him is another blessing, and he is the most wonderful man. I could not imagine not having our wedding without him, and without some of the closer friends and family too. It was it's such a hard decision to come to that place, and we just decided, you know what, we would rather end up in a situation, and this was months ago before vaccines and everything, we would rather be in a situation where he got to see it on a Zoom feed than him potentially not be there at all. And I think that to us was okay, we would rather be able to have something that just gets it, make the most of just a literal world calamity than to not have anything. And luckily, her dad's going to be able to be here. You are going to be able to be
Hell
here.
yeah,
you and
yeah.
Alexia, my dad, my mom, we're going to be able to with the given circumstances, we're going to be able to have some kind of safe gathering. And that is, I'm just thankful that the pieces are falling in line, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheers to you, brother. We have
Cheers.
some drinks here. We're just gonna cheers each other through our cameras,
Cheers,
and I'm
cheers, cheers.
so fucking excited to be able to call you my cousin-in-law shortly.
I cannot
very
wait
soon.
to call you my cousin-in-law too. It's gonna be
great.
amazing. Well, so now
So-
that brings me to the next part of this. Cousin-in-law, future cousin-in-law. What is good with you? How are you doing?
Oh, I can't definitely respond after that. I mean, you just gave like a whole heartfelt thing that probably brought many people to tears. I'm sitting here like, okay, cool. I
You
got
matter.
a haircut.
You matter.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I am doing really good. I've been having a lot of positive momentum come on my side. I've been having
Good.
a lot of really great talks with a lot of really great people. And also, I'm getting a tattoo the week after your wedding, which is crazy because I haven't had that happen since the night of my 18th birthday.
What is the tattoo of?
I'm going to keep it a secret until the next episode.
Okay.
Because it's something that I'm really happy about. And I have a really incredible artist that is going to work on it. And just very happy that he was able to get me in. It's going to be great. But getting that done. And I wasn't expecting this to happen anytime soon. But my lovely fiance, Alexia, the producer on this show, a little bit of nepotism here.
We call her Chaos Wrangler on here.
We do.
I want you to. She's self-dubbed, and we all said yes because it was the only logical choice.
I mean, she's been with me for 11 years. She absolutely knows how to wrangle some chaos. Yeah, but she was able to get like a surprise birthday appointment with this guy, and I'm very excited to do that. But also, I'm super stoked to be coming to your wedding, and also, since you were able to grant me the opportunity to host the newlywed game at your wedding.
So that's one of the, like, instead of dancing, we wanted to just try and, like, make for the people who are going to be on the Zoom call, like, a lively, entertaining, thing we could do. So we asked Mike to host the newlywed game.
So that's why I have been practicing my announcer voice, so I can sit there and I can talk to a bit of everybody that's on the Zoom link, that's getting married, that's sitting there drinking whatever drink they're having, and be like, hey, do you know what's going on? Because I don't. I've had too many cocktails, but it's fine. Yeah, so I'm very excited to go off and do a variety of that. And that's going to be super good. And
we may need to feature, because we are going to be recording this, and so I'm going to keep some of the more personal things off of this this feed and our socials, but we may need to get your coverage of the newlywed game on our socials.
Let us know.
We'll see what we can do.
Let us know if you would like to see my game show hosting capabilities. ABC, I'm open for if you need somebody to replace Steve Harvey. I'm here. But also, you want to know what else is good?
What else is good, Mike?
Today's episode of the FillGood podcast.
Yes.
We have one of the coolest cats around. She is an entrepreneur. She is a holistic nutritionist. She is Playboy's Miss July 2019, Teela LaRoux. Can we talk up quickly about how awesome she is?
She's pretty badass.
She is pretty badass.
I'm very excited for you guys to hear this, and like for me, I've known Teela for a little bit. I've seen her and her low points, and I'm just after hearing her talk about where she is at now, what her future is, and just I'm personally so proud of her.
Yeah, and I fell madly in love with her just when she told me about her musical preference, which we'll kind of touch a little bit on in this podcast. But second that she was like, I'm an emo fan, I was like, you got me. Yeah. You got me. But enough of the chit chat. You all want to hear from the lovely Teela LaRoux. Let's get into the interview. Take it away, Byron. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our interview with the great, with the fantastic, with the super duper fantastic. I can't think of any other positive adjectives right now. We are sitting here and we're about to chat with Teela LaRoux. Teela, how are you?
You know, like, it took me a while to figure out how to get online today, but, you know, I guess it means I'm getting old. So, you know.
No, it happens. We've all been struggle busing to get onto the internet. Somehow nobody wants it to be accessible anywhere.
True, but maybe I am getting old. I mean, I'm going to be 32 next weekend, so
you're only 6 months older than I am.
I know. Are we?
Yeah.
Which means you are officially like a year older than me, and I think I have the most grays out of all three of us on this call.
I wouldn't know, honestly, because I literally dye my hair black, and don't tell anyone. Nobody tell anyone. I'm a natural blonde. But, you know,
Don't worry.
No, I probably have some grays in here somewhere.
It's okay. I pre-ordered my cane last week.
Nice. And also, like, I'm just gonna soak up all the grays that are in this. Like, I'm gonna George Clooney the fuck out of this look, and
honestly,
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, you should. That's yes, please.
Thank you, Teela. Well, just so everybody knows who you are, let's give a brief introduction of you. You're a model. You're an entrepreneur. You are Playboy Playmate Miss July 2019, and you're just a fucking fantastic person that we love and adore, and we're very happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm stoked to be here. Like, regardless of the issue of not being able to get online, not sleeping much lately because I am launching my line next week. But overall, like, I'm doing pretty well. You know what I mean? I'm doing
Awesome.
You don't look like you haven't been sleeping though. Like the
power of makeup and natural lighting right now.
Yeah.
Once this goes away, what comes out.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing that natural lighting is doing right now is really emphasizing
your eyeliner?
My eyeliner that I'm wearing today, because for those who don't know, Teela is also an emo aficionado. So since this is an audio podcast, Byron and I are both rocking our best emo looks.
I painted my nails. Like, this is my first real, like, full dive into being emo. And all week I've been calling my fiance Marissa my emo Sherpa, because she's guided me through the long, dark tunnels of emo.
But before we talk about anything else, we have a tradition here at the FillGood podcast where before we start talking about all things good, we need to get rid of the bad. And we're going to have our moment of bad.
Okay.
So we'll put roughly 60 seconds on the clock. Let's get rid of those bads and make them be gone.
Okay.
My first bad of the week. I had a beautiful big pine tree in my backyard, and my landlord took it away.
Oh.
It's a shame. I miss my privacy. I miss feeling like I lived in a tree house. So with those tree mover guys, I'm going to send them. I'm going to make them be gone.
Yeah, be gone. Be gone.
Byron, what's bad with you? I'm just gonna get right into this. Was my last one, but I feel like I need to make it my first one. All of the violence against the continued violence against Asian Americans this week, and the spa shooting in Atlanta. That shit already needed to be gone. It needs to be gone further.
Yeah.
Be gone. I will also just emphasize that I had that as one of mine as well. So
I'm right there also with you 1,000%. I guess like the first thing that started this week was someone backed into my car.
Oh, damn.
Monday. Come on, people. On Monday, and you back into my car. Listen, I got my car in October. So yeah. So now I got to go get that fixed and that's annoying, but it's
Well, we'll take those bad Monday vibes and we're just going to send them and we're going to make them be gone.
Be gone,
Be
Monday,
gone.
be gone.
This is why I do emo Mondays.
Exactly. You got to
Yes.
feel it, acknowledge the pain, let
Exactly.
it go. I'll also kind of tie in I'll makeshift a second one here. Ignorant people. Just people who are going out who are just oblivious to everything that's going on and not acknowledging and accepting the consequences for what they're doing. Be gone, ignorant
Be
people.
gone.
Yeah.
Byron, what's your next?
Okay. The Masked Singer is back. Yes, I watched The Masked Singer.
Of course you do.
And Masked Singer, I'm always annoyed about the clues. They're worthless. They're animal puns. Animal puns aren't hard. They're not clues. They're animal puns. I like for this. It needs to be gone, and then it needs to get its shit together, and then come back once it's figured out that animal puns are not clues. They're not clues.
No. Be gone with bad clues.
Yeah. Be gone.
Teela, what is your next bad?
Honestly, like, I don't know if this is bugging you guys, but the fact that so many places are opening right now, the fact that Texas is fully open and these places, and we're trying so hard to, obviously there's been so many vaccines that have gotten out and a lot of people have gotten them. But the fact that like, I feel like places are opening up like fully, completely so soon. And like, I don't know about you guys, but my first time traveling again since COVID was like a week and a half ago, and I went to New York for work. And like to hear that, and then me be someone traveling, like it's kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I just want people to still take this a little bit serious, and let's just go like at a nice pace.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Bugging me lately because there's people. I feel like there's a lot of people that just think it's okay. It's over. No, it's not over yet. But
Well, also there's just the addition of like this always seems to happen when things start getting better. So everyone's like, "Cool, let's go to the beach and get your towels and let's all get naked." And it's like just keep it on a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's when we have like the spikes and stuff. So I don't know. That's been kind of bugging me lately, and I'm just gonna let it go and hope for the best.
And
Take that
Be gone
ignorance
it.
and be gone it.
Be gone.
Bring on.
Be gone.
Yeah,
Yes.
traveling was scary, by the way. Like honest to God, like I had a panic attack almost getting on the plane.
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Yeah.
It
Because
was a little bit nerve wracking, and I'm thinking he travels a lot.
yeah, I have a bunch of friends and family that have been traveling a decent amount over this pandemic. And so I know some people that absolutely shouldn't be doing that. And the anxiety that it gives me, I'm just going to make this my third bad. Travel anxiety right now. It's obnoxious. And I wish everybody the healthiest things and just make sure that you make the best decisions. And if you don't make the best decisions, then you have to suffer the consequences of your own actions, because 99% of people who listen to this podcast are adults and they can make up their own decisions and live with them. So take your decisions and be gone.
Think of, whatever you're going to do, like, is it going to affect someone else? Like in a negative way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have that compassion.
Yeah.
Or also just like self-awareness, spatial awareness. Like these are very simple things. They're all very simple things.
Yeah.
My last one here is that daylight savings time was this past Sunday from this recording. Okay. I am so angry that 2 weeks out of the year, I get to be jet lagged without having gone anywhere. And I thought we voted this shit to be gone, but apparently we're just stuck in limbo. So like be gone, daylight savings time. We voted you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be gone.
You know what, Byron? I'm going to roll off of that because not only was I jet lagged, still then going through this, like we did vote for it to be gone. What is the point of daylight savings?
Why
Why
is
is
it still here?
it here? It's like an ex trying to come and get back together with you. Get away! Wake up!
Wow.
We filed the restraining order against daylight savings. It's not getting the hint, so it
Daylight-
definitely just needs
Why?
to stay
Savings
down.
is where it belongs.
Daylight savings just sounds like the most manipulative ex. Like, and the fact that it only comes twice a year too. Like, you were thinking about me for the past 6 months. You did nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
There's
Okay.
there's so many other bad jokes I can make about coming twice a year, but
we got to move on from the bad jokes, though. We got to get into that. We'll be here all day ragging on daylight savings time. But so let's transition into Teela. We need to get into your origin story here and and have you. I know you left your cape at the dry cleaner today, but since you're waiting, tell us about your origin story, who you are, what you're about.
I'm Teela. I'm originally from Seattle. I'm based in Los Angeles. I've been a model of 17 years, so it makes me feel really old. I moved from Seattle at a really young age, going to like Milan, and then absolutely hating Milan, and wanted to quit modeling forever. After going there, it was horrible. But then
what was so horrible about it?
It was horrible because one, I got mugged.
What?
And I was like 13 or 14 years old. I got mugged. Yes.
Rude.
Back then I had no computer. There was no Skype. There was no way to talk to my family. It was basically just like, all right, I'll call once a month from the agency and talk to my mom, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just like, I lived with roommates that didn't really like me because I washed the dishes. Go figure.
How dare you?
Who doesn't like someone like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. Then
By the way, my mom loved you for that when you.
No, I love washing the dishes, and also like I really want to eat off of a clean dish. Like wow. But yeah. Then after that, like I was 3 months in Milan. I ended up moving to Paris, which I ended up staying for about 3.5, 4 years. And it was the best time of my life. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I've been doing modeling for about 17 years. Still do it every now and then. I'm gonna be 32 next weekend, so it's been quite a run.
Woo!
Yeah, woo! 32.
Wait,
yeah.
what day is your birthday?
The 28th.
Nice. We are so close. We are like almost birthday twins. Almost.
Oh, when's your birthday?
April 3rd.
Oh, nice.
Very
Yeah,
close.
Aries Tower. Yeah, a little bit. Like I haven't seen my mom during the pandemic, and this is the longest I haven't seen her. So even when I lived abroad, I would go home and see her for holidays, birthday, whatever. You know that, Byron. Like I'm with my family and my mom. So for my birthday, I'm actually flying up to Seattle to surprise her.
Aww,
She's gonna cry.
Nice.
She's gonna cry. But yeah, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, now I'm based in Los Angeles. I'm launching a line next week. I've been working social media and marketing for the past 7 years. I'm launching my own brand finally, and I'm really excited about it. As you said earlier, it's not summer Playmate, but it was July 2019 Playmate, and it's been such a great experience for me.
I think that's a good transition for us to get in, because I think we wanted to just jump right into that. And you were talking to us about some of your difficulties and your struggles during the time that you were modeling, like anxiety, depression, eating disorders, and what do you feel that your feature in Playboy, like, how special was that for you? Was that a climactic moment and being able to overcome your struggles, and what good do you feel you were able to do to be able to share your story on that platform?
Absolutely. It was one of the most awesome experiences for me, because, Playboy reached out to me and I was like, whoa, is this a joke? Like, I had never thought ever about doing anything like this. It's not something I would have done because I had never felt comfortable in my body. Like I did go through the modeling and battle eating disorders, and it was very, very hard for me. I'm so grateful that today, I'm recovered and healthy and happy. But yeah, Playboy reached out to me for their gender and sexuality issue. And I had come out into the LGBTQ community about 11 years ago. And I was predominantly with women. And then, coming out, everyone was super, super supportive of me being a lesbian. But then I met someone, and as you grow, I feel like you start to become more comfortable in your own skin. You start to realize like what you love, and it's comes with age. But I met a man and fell in love, and had to come out being a pansexual woman, and I didn't receive the same sort of support as I received as coming out in the LGBTQ community as a lesbian. So yeah, Playboy gave me that platform to be able to share my story. And honestly, I received so many messages after telling my story that people were, so they had a similar story or thanked me for, being open and honest, because it's something that we really need to do within that community is be more supportive of each other. Whether, it doesn't matter what you are or what you label yourself. We all just want to love and be loved. So it was a really great experience for me to open up about that. And I received a lot of positive feedback. And obviously, like me posing nude, I had never posed nude before. So, it was a little bit nerve wracking because I never really had that relationship with my body, that like I loved my body, and it truly empowered me to do that and look at my body in an entirely different way. Like, okay, this body has
Yeah.
taken me a lot of places. This body has survived an eating disorder. This body has given me what I needed in order to survive. It's protected me. So I just, my body is different then. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd love to kind of dig in a little bit more on just your overcoming of your body kind of dysmorphia and your issues with your body.
Yeah.
Like I would, assuming, this is me just assuming, like going through the modeling career and fields, there's a lot of stigma of having to be that pencil thin. You see all the stereotypical images of people with just like deep collarbones, and they promote this kind of stereotype of the ideal body. I'm doing finger quotes in the air. I would love to learn from you, what was that moment that made you see that you can love yourself, that you can kind of bring yourself up from those negative moments of all that stuff?
So when I started, it was all about measurements, and we were being measured by our agencies. We were, I was pressured to fit into a mold that my body really wasn't supposed to be at. Like at one point, I was 98 pounds, being 5'9". That's really small.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But I'm so like excited to say that like now in 2021, the industry has completely changed. It is definitely more about body positivity and real women bodies. Like we're not, cut out shapes and we can't mold to a certain size. Our bodies are the way that they are. So yeah, there was a lot of, especially when I first started and through the years, when in the beginning, there was a lot of, it was very common to have an eating disorder. But it took me going through that in order to realize, okay, there was one day where I was like, my body's going to shut down. My little brother even asked my mom at one point, he was like, is Teela going to die? And when I heard that, I was like, I don't want to die. Like I want to live. There's so much I want to do in my life. And so I started, getting more interested in nutrition and health. And then from there, I loved it so much. And I loved learning about what it did for my body, that I ended up going to school for actually holistic nutrition and became a personal trainer, and just absolutely fell in love with it. So, sometimes it takes our darkest moments for us, that light bulb to go off and be like, oh shit, this is what really matters. Like that did not matter. And I feel bad at some point, because I'm like, oh, I wasted so many years of my life, like worrying about something that actually didn't matter. What mattered was me being healthy and happy. So yeah, so now I work with some girls via social media and, in person for health coaching through nutrition and anxiety and depression and eating disorders. And it's become, I turned my pain into my passion.
That's
That's
first of all,
amazing.
that's just wonderful to hear. And like, we are so enamored by you and your story. Like, you're a badass and we love you. And thank you for being here.
Really, thank you so much.
Yes. But also too, another question that I wanted to ask you, just kind of in regards to the Playboy discussion, it doesn't seem like the first place that an LGBTQ model would go to first star nude. So I was wondering, like, what was the determining factor for you to choose posing for Playboy?
Well, Playboy isn't what it used to be. Playboy is much more progressive and inclusive now. They touch upon LGBTQ. They touch upon like politics, cannabis. The community is much more. It's not entertainment for men anymore. It's entertainment for all. So it's a place where everyone can come and learn and connect with each other, and it's really turned into something much more than we can imagine. Honestly, like even Gina Rosaro, the Playmate month after me, which was August, she was our first transgender Playmate, which was super super beautiful, and she's one of my biggest inspirations,
Yeah.
honestly. And yeah, it's become much more of an open place
Yeah.
for sure.
And you like the two of you have just been trendsetters for this new version of Playboy, and I know that they've been doing a variety of things over the past couple of years of like going non-nude for like a hot moment, but also just starting to have all this progressiveness. How do you see this progressiveness in Playboy affecting the LGBTQ community?
I think it's been a very positive experience. It has been I think it's allowed people to be a little more open. I think it's allowed people to educate themselves and be more aware about the community. And it's been really positive. Honestly, that's what I can say. It's done. You know, I've had people that have reached out to me and been like, "Oh, I had no idea that or about pronouns or about this in the community or this and it's been very nice to be able to speak about that and having people want to understand and become more aware of
Well, I was
everyone,
also thinking, like, as we were doing research on this, like, Playboy wasn't always catering to that audience, like West Coast or East Coast, like city people, like audience. It was like mostly middle America, mostly straight white men. So this is a good approach for them to kind of transition that crowd who has always been who was buying magazines.
Yeah, and now everything's gone digital now
Yeah.
too, so and a lot of things have changed in Playboy, but obviously everything's going to progress with the times and there's going to be changes, and I think it's all really good changes. They even have like a line of CBD, which is awesome, and they always have like merch collaborations, which is great. They're always speaking about things that matter, and I think that's super important. So they've included like a lot of people. They include all walks of life, as a part of
Yeah.
Playboy now, and I think what makes it so beautiful is that it's not just like no one's segregated. It's not just one demographic. It's all demographics. So it's been a really beautiful experience.
That's I can't think of a better way to end that segment.
Like,
that was great. Yeah. So Teela, other than being a model and everything, I know you are so much more than that. And you touched on this a little bit ago of your fascination with nutrition. And I would love to, if you can tell us a little bit more about your journey with nutrition and all this holistic health.
Sure. Yeah. Um, I mean, this started years ago, but I obviously found love for nutrition. I live a plant-based lifestyle, and I've seen it done. Like I've seen it do the most amazing things in my life and my family's life. My entire family is plant-based. I started out by studying nutrition, and then I went to school, and I wanted to take a little bit deeper because I wanted to really find out about the healing that's done within. for diseases and cancer and diabetes. Everything can be cured through nutrition. And I found that incredibly remarkable because, like, nothing against anyone that takes pharmaceuticals, but big pharma is not your best friend. And the true healing, without a bandage, from the inside out, comes from nutrition. So that to me, like, I ended up going to school, and I was like, well, maybe I want to do this as a career. But then I started talking to more and more people, and I was like, wait, not many people are educated about holistic health or nutrition. So I decided not to make it a career. I just wanted to actually educate people and help them about how they can change their lifestyle and their nutrition, with different things that they were battling in their life. So it's been completely life-changing for me. It's been completely life-changing for my family, and even the way my dog lives, honestly.
Like, puppy nutrition is a huge thing too.
It's a huge thing, but it's absolutely amazing. Like, I have seen people with, even depression and anxiety. Like, I've had a history with depression and anxiety, and just changing my diet and lifestyle has done so much for me. It's been absolutely amazing. Yes. Do I still get anxiety every now and then? Absolutely. That's a normal human emotion and reaction, didn't have that, I'd be a little bit scared.
Yes.
Like, what's wrong with you?
It's probably so much less severe now that you are regulating the chemicals in your body voluntarily, as opposed to just going to a fast food joint, getting a cheeseburger, and just totally. I'm interested to know, because you were saying, like, so you got your degree in holistic nutrition and then you didn't pursue that as a career. I'm interested to know what you feel you have been able to do with it through your platform and on social media that couldn't have been able to do with calling yourself a holistic nutritionist.
I mean, I did for a while. But I just thoroughly enjoy, like, I heard this quote like years ago, and they were like, if you're truly passionate about something, you would do it even if you weren't paid for it. And I was like, I didn't feel right, like, for me personally. And obviously, like, everyone has a job, everyone needs to be paid for their services, but I just genuinely wanted to give information to people to educate them on how they can live their healthiest, best life. And, like I said, I've been working with a couple of people over social media for a couple of years now, and I've completely seen their life change. And, I am working on doing, like, a little blog that will have some recipes, some health tips, and just genuinely because I want to share information. And so it's not like my degree or education is going to waste, because it helped me, it helps other people. And, I want to share this information in a positive way and have people, learn from it. So I'm working on creating a blog right now that will share a lot of health information, plant-based lifestyle tips. And, even, like, there's many documentaries that are amazing, and so many books that I've read that are so incredible. Dr. Michael Greger, he's a doctor in pharmaceutical, and wrote an entire book that's called How Not to Die, and it talks about everything.
That sounds like a good instruction manual for humans.
Yeah. So he has the education of being an MD, but he also has the education of, okay, this is what's going to work, and this is what is not going to work. It's absolutely incredible. He has something called the Daily Dozen, things that you should be eating or putting in your body every single day. So that's amazing. Documentary, the Game Changers, that was incredible. If you don't even have to be vegan or plant-based. Just watch it, and you're going to be like, oh, dang, like, this makes a lot of sense. Talks about, athletes in the industry that went plant-based because they were battling health issues, or what it does for, the male erection. You know what I mean? Like, truly, and, like, it's the statistics and everything. Like, it's been amazing to have people bring more awareness towards this, because we live in America where our issue is obesity and heart disease and high cholesterol and liver disease and All of these things are absolutely preventable if you change your lifestyle. You don't have to, you don't have to be vegan, but eat more vegetables, eat less meat, and
Yeah.
I think that
exercise.
is a bit of a fear when you are talking about like changing your eating habits, because it like it's not the big in reality it's not the biggest change of lifestyle, but it's like, wait, but I love these things. It is a change of lifestyle. I love cheese, I love meat, but once you go without for so long, yeah, you don't miss that stuff.
There's a point of having
Yeah.
it kind of be like a treat yourself moment. Like
Yeah.
on my end, I've been trying to eat a little bit cleaner because as much as I'm 6'2", like 175, 180 pounds, like I'm a healthy weight and everything, but I ate like shit to be totally honest. And I was just eating a whole bunch of crap. But there is something to be said about eating cleaner. Like I have red meat probably once every 2 weeks or so now. Just eating like leaner proteins, eating more veggie things. I can eat my body weight in garbanzo beans now. And
All that hummus.
yes.
It's all about where, like, if you're going to eat meat, just check the source as to where your meat is coming from. Because honestly, that's the most disturbing thing for me is that if you don't know where your sourced meat is coming from, that's going to be a huge issue for whoever's consuming it in the long run. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not one of those judgy people, but I just want everyone just to educate themselves a little bit. Like, all right, if you're gonna go and purchase meat, just know where it's coming from, know how they treated their animals, and because that's super important. What you're
Yeah.
putting in your body is whatever how they were treated. So
I'm actually just thinking of this just now because I do want to address the flip side of it, of the cost effectiveness of all of the all the eating healthy very often, going on these diets and
no, shouldn't do a diet. You should just do a lifestyle.
lifestyle. Excuse me. No, that is better terminology. It is you changing your life, but it can be admittedly expensive. And I guess maybe do you have good recommendations to our listeners for being able to keep this lifestyle change cost effective?
Absolutely. It's less expensive, actually. It's only going to get expensive if you start buying vegan processed foods.
Got it.
So, markets, there's so many amazing recipes. Like someone's like, okay, cool, I'm going to go buy a Beyond Burger. First of all, that's great. It's better, it's better for you than meat, but it's still processed
Yeah.
food. So, you want to make a burger? Cool. I've got a great recipe for a black bean burger, a quinoa burger, whatever you want.
Can you share that after this, please? Because that sounds
Yeah.
yummy.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. There's so many recipes. And honestly, like Pinterest has great recipes. I've made vegan mac and cheese not using cheese. It's made with nutritional yeast
Interesting.
because it has a flavor. Not to mention it's very high in B vitamins.
Very
So
interesting.
people were shocked. Like I made it with panko crumbs and baked it after. And literally my ex, who was not vegan, ate half a tray of this mac and cheese because it was so good. There are ways to still like, and I think like it's so much more common now for people to be plant based or live that sort of lifestyle that the recipes have gotten so much better. I think people get a little bit scared when they hear plant based or vegan because they're like, oh, it's gonna taste like crap.
Well, because they also think of it as like this is a substitute replacing it, and I think that's something that I learned very early on, when it's like, because vegan food, vegetarian food, it's all great, but if you look at it as like this is your substitute and this is what you have for, because it's just not going to taste exactly like what the real thing is going to taste like, but it's still good if you give it a chance.
Taste buds adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And your taste buds, like a lot of people's taste buds are used to the processed taste and the salts and the additives that are in food, that like once they cut that out, like sometimes even a week, 2 weeks, like your taste buds start to taste the nutrition and the all the flavors of real food. So Yeah, like I got a lot of good recipes. Honestly, I'm down like when things get a lot better to like meet you guys for a potluck too.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
If also too, if we need to do like a Instagram live thing of us just like all cooking and like you working with us, I am
Yes.
down with that.
I'm so hungry.
I am also hungry.
Can I?
I'm ready for dinner. So let's get this moving.
Yeah.
As much as we could talk about clean eating all day and just make ourselves hungrier and hungrier, I also want to chat about what makes you feel good, Teela. We would love to learn about the inner workings of what releases those dopamine chemicals in your brain and what makes you feel good.
Honestly, number one, riding my motorcycle. Um, yeah, that's number one for me. You know, as much as I've worked on anxiety and depression over the years, and I'm so grateful to be in like a good place, riding my motorcycle has really been a place for me to just get lost and connect with myself. I literally have no destination of where I'm going ever. I just get on my bike and I ride, and it's one of the most beautiful experiences and things to ever come into my life. It makes me emotional at times because it's literally like you you see different parts of the world and you connect with yourself and you're aware there's no distractions, just you on the road, the community that it's brought me to, fellow riders who are now family. It's been one of the most amazing experiences ever. So for the last 3 years I've been riding a motorcycle and have been creating memories on the road, and I honestly I would recommend anyone to get a motorcycle and create a journey on it because it's awesome.
What was it that got you into riding motorcycles?
My ex, actually, I mean, I grew up on dirt bikes, and then my ex was working with Harley, and he, you know, was doing like social media work for them, and I got on the back of his bike once, and I was like, nope, time to get down.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful because I work very close with Harley, and they've been so amazing to me. And I love my bike. On the level, her name is Bambi.
That's a great name for yeah, that's a great name for a bike.
That's a great name for a Harley Davidson, which
Well, behind it in September, I was in a deer accident.
Oh.
No animals were hurt in the process of this accident except for myself. Yeah, so we named. I had to go through a full rebuild. I had to. It took like about 2 months to rebuild, and yeah, so I named her Bambi after the deer that ran out in front of me and sent me flying.
Jesus Christ! Thank God for helmets.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, if I wasn't riding proper or wearing proper riding gear, I don't think I would have come out of it as lucky as I did. So I'm very, very grateful. I mean, you know, that's just part of it's part of riding a motorcycle. It's just like always be aware, always be on top of it. But you know, the positives outweigh the negative, absolutely for sure. And it's been a really beautiful experience for me. I was riding a week and a half after my accident, so on a different bike, but I was riding.
Are you, when you are getting ready for a ride, because there are those safety concerns about riding on a motorcycle, like, and I'm sure there are many people who are, you know, they'll say to a loved one, you're not getting a motorcycle, you're not going to get in a crash. Like, are those safety concerns, or like, is that something you're conscientious about before a ride, or is it just too much and it's easier just out of sight, out of mind, so that you don't psych yourself out?
Well, I have a guardian bell, and I got all my friends guardian bells. They're like little bells protection bells that you hang like under your bike somewhere. And I pray. I literally pray every time I get on a bike. I pray for the people around me. I pray for the riders on the road. I pray for myself. I pray for new riders. Just everyone. And I do believe like the power of like prayer and positive manifestation is really helpful, and it makes me feel better internally. And I know that it does do something.
All about that positive manifestation.
at one point in my life, like my biggest fear was death. And because I'm just like, oh, death, like I don't want that to ever happen. I want to be a vampire and live forever. But there was one moment actually like a few months ago where I was riding, and I was riding like past Hollywood. The sun was starting to set, and the trees started to become like a silhouette. And I just thought to myself, I have lived such a great life. I am so grateful. I am, whatever is my time to go is my time to go. Like my fear of like, oh, I don't want to die, kind of diminished, and it happened on the bike because I was just like, I was in such a state of gratitude where I was just like, I can't believe that I get to do this. You know what I mean? I've gotten to ride a motorcycle and create memories and go to beautiful places, and like I'm at peace. I like found internal peace within myself.
I imagine that fulfillment is overpowering any fear or any negativity that you might put into how you approach it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Another question that I had, because here at the Feel Good podcast, we're all about diminishing stereotypes. When I first think of questions, but we want to. The biggest thing that pops in my mind when I think of bike riders are old bearded white guys like hopping on their Harleys with some Southern rock playing in the back. You know,
there are still those guys.
Yes.
And those gals, you know what I mean? It's not just male or female now. Before it was a very male dominated sort of thing, riding motorcycles, but no, it's definitely not. They're like my crew, my motorcycle crew, and that's what we call us. We are, Los Angeles Moto Crew. We are very diverse, female, male, gay, straight, black, white, we are all of it. So we are a very diverse crew that come from all walks of life. And it doesn't matter where you came from or what you do. We are all there to ride and connect with each other. And it's been one of the most beautiful experiences. I love them like blood, like family, truly. There are still those types of peeps that you just talked about, but it's much more diverse now. The demographic is much broader. I was responding to some comments on Instagram, and like this guy was totally like, you should remember who Harley's demographic is, and I was like, honey, let me put you in your place for a second. Like, you should remember who spends the most money, and I was like, honey, let me tell you, I spend enough on my bike. Thank you very much. And the demographic is much broader than you would ever imagine. There's still people in the mindset of that like, oh no, women can't ride. Like, this is a man's game. This is a man's world. No, I'm sorry. The demographic is huge now.
I'm sure there's more of a correlation between like new riders who are of many different walks of life who are buying a Harley for the first time, as opposed to like some of these guys who like they buy used ones, and they've had their bike for so long that like, Harley's not trying to cater to like people who've got a used bike. They're trying to sell that new one.
Yeah, and honestly, Harley's awesome to work with. They are supportive of everything going on in the world right now, as far as like LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter. They are, they're really, really, truly supportive of every person. Like, there is not one demographic with Harley. They love everyone, and that's been a beautiful experience to work with them and have them be so supportive of everything going on in the world.
It's the one thing that I'm finding a trend with you, Teela, and I'm absolutely enamored by, is that you're working with these companies that have had this kind of preconceived audience, and you're going in, you're breaking these molds, and you're showing that, things can evolve, things can change, and you can
everything evolve. Like, the original demographic of both, like, sometimes don't like when things change because they're comfortable and it's something that they know, but change is a part of who we are. If we don't change and evolve, like, we are nothing, we don't learn, we don't grow. So change and involvement in anything, whether, it be a brand or yourself or whatever. It's super, super important for life in general.
Yeah.
You've gone on many rides. You have seen
Yes.
America. You have gone through the woods. You've gone over the river and through the everything. Is there that one ride that you went on that was just transformative that you will remember for the rest of your life?
Anything in the desert, like that's my one place where I connect like spiritually, um, aside from the bike. But taking the bike there was an even better experience because the desert and the bike have something in common for me, and it's two things that bring me peace. And taking my bike out there and just watching the sky change and going, driving down those long roads and just getting lost in the desert is one of my favorite things to do. So I love going to the desert. I would love to do a cross country ride soon. But the desert is my favorite place to ride. And honestly, like it changed my life for the better for sure.
What desert was it that?
I love going out to Joshua Tree.
As a guy who spent a couple years living in the desert, it's nice for a moment. but
yeah, I spent a month out there.
There's something beautiful about just the vast openness and just the full beauty of nature and the mountains and everything like that.
Yep.
And then you also have the days of when you live out there and there's 75-mile-per-hour winds blowing sand in your face, and you get a really good exfoliant on everything. It feels great for the first 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh.
For sure. Or it's super cold and your fingers are frozen and your face is frozen. Yeah, I experienced some of those high winds like last month when I hosted like a women's ride. And they were like, it was 45-mile-per-hour winds, but like your bike was swaying. And that was like one experience where I was like, all right, cool. You either have to speed up so you don't feel the impact of the wind, because if you slow down or if you go the speed of the wind, you're going to be blown in the wind. But like going down Angeles Crest during that time, it was definitely an interesting experience for sure.
The last motorcycle question I have for you: what is your anthem that you are listening to as you're going down the road? Like you turn it on, you hop on your bike, and this is playing in your head. What is that song?
Oh my gosh. I don't know, honestly. That catches me off guard. I don't know, something sort of rock. I don't know. Maybe it's like Johnny Cash or I guess it would depend on it depends on my mood. Every time I get on the bike, I'm in a different sort of place, I don't usually listen to music on my bike because, it's another distraction. I try to tune out everything and just be present in that moment. I don't know. It'd have to be something like Johnny Cash or whatever.
Johnny Cash is a good one.
Johnny Cash is a good one. It is.
I was thinking mine would be the Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin by Led Zeppelin. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get on my bike and I'm like strolling down a beautiful road and there's water or beach or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. And yes, playing in my head.
Yes. It's just nice, peaceful zen-ness as you're driving along.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Teela, one of the last questions that we love to ask people as we're going through this journey together, we love to ask you, we know about your holistic nutrition and everything, but what else is that good that you're putting out in the world?
I'm hoping to create more jobs with launching my line. I think it's really important to, create more jobs, especially, I'm a small business, but I hope that it expands and to be able to give people more work, especially, since COVID's put a lot of people in a bad position right now. So I hope to do that. But honestly, like, just continuing to be a positive person and being open and helping. I'm all about like living your best life and I have a lot of people reach out to me via social media every day, and I think it's really important just to be, open. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, why do you respond back to messages like that? I'm like, because you can be that one person that changes that person's life. So, I think it's really important just to be a positive person, be open, and communicate with each other. I feel like over the last couple of years, we've kind of lost touch with like communicating with one another, and I think that's really important to do because you never know what someone can be in your life or how you can help that person in their lifetime. So, yeah.
That is really amazing. Well, Teela, that finally on the docket today. This brings us to your future
Yes.
good. And we want to know what's in your future, what's going on, what are you putting out into the world, and please plug away whatever you got. We're all here for it.
So March 25th, my candle line is coming out. I'm super stoked about it. It's Shop LaRoux, is the Instagram. This is something I made with my mom, and it's something like we've always been passionate about candles. So, and they smell bomb. I'm gonna get you guys some candles. I'm gonna send you guys some. I've got a lot of good feedback so far, and everyone's like, "I need more. They smell so good." So that's the first line of products I'm releasing for LaRoux. There's some other things coming that I can't say just yet, but have to do with health and wellness. So I'm really excited about everything coming up there. And
can you tell us about these candles? Because the first time you mentioned them to us,
yes.
I have had their like imaginative sense.
I have one burning right now. I have a whiskey one too that when you finish the candle, you can use as a whiskey glass.
That I want that one. I want that one.
My body is ready.
Yes.
Also, like I obviously repurpose and reuse and recycle is really important to me. So I'm figuring out a way for people to send back their glass so I can refill them and they can just reuse the glass.
Nice.
So yeah, I have 5 candles so far. So I have the whiskey candle. I have one called Harley, which is oak moss and amber. I have Burnout, which is smoked clove and amber. I like my ambers. And I have Hush, which is sage, lavender, and sandalwood.
What motivated you to start this company?
I've always loved candles. The first thing I do when I come home is I light my candles, I turn on some music, and just, sometimes I sit back with a glass of wine and I just relax. And for me, like candles help make a house a home. They bring light into a room and they make a place feel warmer. So between my plants and my candles, you can see my plant right here, one of them. It's always been something that I've loved. Like I grew up in Seattle and my mom would burn candles like every day. And every time it got dark, like we just, light candles, and it was awesome. So it's something that we both shared that we were super passionate about. I was buying so many candles. Like I buy so many candles. And then I was like, you know what? I think we can start making our own. And my mom was like, we should make our own. We've been talking about it for the longest time. So we started working on this in July, and we created LaRoux. And LaRoux is important to us because not only is it my middle name, but it was my grandmother's name. So my grandmother and my mother raised me, and my mom's mom. So that's why it's super important to us because she passed a few years ago, and we're kind of doing this in her name and something that she loved too. So it's something that we can work on together, even not being together. And I'm actually going to deliver the first set of candles to my mom on my birthday.
God, yay!
So I'm going to take video of her reaction. It's going to be epic.
I want to see.
There's something so precious about surprising parents and just the unadulterated joy that comes from their faces. It's so great.
Yeah. My niece too, because I'm going to fly up on my birthday and get there that night, but that's when we're going to surprise them. But her birthday is actually the 29th, the day after mine, so I'm going to be able to be there for her.
Oh my God,
that's so sweet.
Yeah, my brother kept texting me and he's like, she really wants you to be up here. And I was like, I don't know if I can make it happen.
Oh my God, that's going to be like a whole birthday extravaganza. Amazing.
Yeah, it's going to
be awesome. Well, Teela, thank you so much for sharing your story with us and hanging out with us today. I don't have words for how awesome this was.
I do. It was fucking fantastic. And
that, all of that.
Teela, you have been fucking fantastic. We love you. It goes without not like saying you're a fantastic person. And where can people find you on the internet, in the webs, to learn more about LaRoux, learn more about you and all the good that you're doing?
They can find me at Teela LaRoux on Instagram. And then from there, like I have all my links to Shop LaRoux and my website. But yeah, and come say hi. If you listen to this and you want to come say hi, like come say hi. Like I check my messages daily and I get back to every message. So I love connecting with people and I'd love to hear.
You're already doing more in your DMs, and I'm sure most everyone on the internet. So
it's true.
Like, yeah,
awesome, Teela. It's been fantastic, and we'll definitely have to get you on again down the line to hear more about how LaRoux's going. But thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. I can't stop saying amazing. I wish you could slap me through the
Byron.
Air slap me. Ah! Okay, one more time. Ah! Okay. I said she was amazing, right?
Yeah, I think she said she was amazing.
Oh my God. Teela, you are amazing. Thank you so much for coming on our show, talking with us. It was just so great to chat with you about all of the amazing things that you do. And one thing I will mention here is that Teela was kind enough to send us, our team, a couple candles. We wanted to talk about them and brag about them a little bit because, Mike, why don't you start us off? What candle did you get?
I have a candle that I want to drink because it smells that good. I got the Whiskey Neat, which smells like a sweet glass of Jameson. It's like the sweet smell of a whiskey, but without the alcoholic punch behind it. It's literally just kind of like the sweetness behind it. It has this like subtle oaky hint in it as well that balances it out, which I think really doesn't give you that punch in the face alcohol smell, but also too, it's in this great glass that once it's done with, you can utilize as like a nice little whiskey tumbler, which I am nowhere near finishing yet, but I plan on it because it smells so damn good.
I will say that's what I was most impressed by. Like I was like cleaning the bathroom the other day. I put this on like just to like mask some of the like chemical smells of this helped it not smell terrible. Actually, like the thing that was amazing was I burnt this for several hours and it was like it didn't go down. It's not like it did not move. Like the burn time, I think she said, is like 50 hours.
It goes for days. Literally and figuratively. It goes.
Oh no, it is crazy. But the other thing that I noticed about it, I'm looking at the label here. I got Burnout, and it is smoke, clove, and amber, and it smells. It's great, but it smells exactly like what is on the label. That I think I'll go to like maybe Target, get a candle, and it'll say something like I don't know, cinnamon, whatever the hell kind of like smell that you get, but then it's always like filled with other kinds of like little elements, and not always gross, but it's kind of like I came to get a tobacco candle for the scent of tobacco. Like, I'm cool with the vanilla, but like, God, everybody, like, vanilla is overhyped. Like, it is. I don't need it all the time. But this was like, this is no BS, exactly what you get.
Exactly.
It's just, I think, like, if you're looking for a really great quality candle that is locally made in LA and is just really good, it's worth it.
It's
really worth it.
Check out shoplaroux.com. That's shoplaroux.com to purchase your fantastic emo queen smelling candles. They are so good. They're so good.
I still have my nail paint on. I need to get it removed before the wedding.
You probably should.
I'm surprised that it's stayed on as long as
it's been
has.
Weeks.
I know,
which is the even more surprising
recorded.
thing.
Yeah.
So Byron, I would love to just kind of hear from you real quick. What's that one thing that you took away from our chat with Teela?
Yeah, so we didn't get to go deeper into this. It was more about something that just impressed me about Teela and the experience that she had gone through, because I just had never thought about this before, and all of the friends and people that I've talked to who are a part of the LGBTQ community who are at one point in their lives or another have made a change or made an identity, a change in their life because they identified differently, and there was some shift in their sexuality or their gender, and they had to come out again. And that's something I think, like, I just never thought about. Just like, oh, if you are having this change in your identity for yourself, you're having to do this again. And I think the way that Teela briefly talked about how she handled it, I think just impressed me more. I think it's one thing when you have to come out the first time. That's already impressive. You're having to come out again, and then you're having to do it to the community that embraced you and hope that they embrace you again. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is just a part. It speaks to the badassery that is Teela LaRoux.
True. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mike, what did you take away?
I would say the thing that struck a chord with me overall was the ability, or her ability, of being able to love herself for who she is and her body. Like the body positivity that she was able to find and also help promote within her social feeds and community and everything like that. That was something that really hit deep with me. I for my whole life have had issues just with my body, and being around a variety of people, variety of genders and everything like that, just be like, hey, you're skinny, hey, you're skinny, you're skinny, you're skinny, you're skinny, you're skinny, you're skinny, you're skinny. And it hit deep within me to a point of I haven't been able to be comfortable with myself up until very, very recently. And the ability that she was able to come from going from eating disorders to becoming this world-class model that she is now, and being able to pass on that positivity. It passed on to me a little bit too. And I really appreciated that. And her generosity and just kind spirit of being, or just kind of chatting with a bit of everybody about this and just really passing on the good word. You can't get better than that. You can't. And then also too, she's just an emo queen. She's great. She has great taste in music. Emo Mondays, everybody follow her on there so that we can all rock out.
Yeah, if you want to follow Teela, you want to chat to her, or just follow her for Emo Mondays. She's at Teela LaRoux on Instagram. Give her a shout out. She's wonderful to talk to. We are also on the social medias as well. If you'd to have, we are doing the social medias. If you'd like to talk to us more about Teela's episode, or just generally the good you're putting out into the world, artwork that you're doing, and you want to submit and share with us, and we want to be sharing your story. We want to be making this platform about you and the good that you put into the world. Mike, where can they find us? You can find us at FillGood Pod. That's FillGoodPod. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. And you can also probably find us on Facebook. But we are on all the socials. Hit us up. We're a chatty Cathy's. We'd love to talk to you. Also, too, feel free to email us at fillgoodpodcast@gmail.com. And, if you have some artwork, like Byron said, that you would love us to kind of get out in the world, holler. If you have someone that you'd like us to chat with, holler. We're here for you. We've got a Discord as well. You can find us on there. We're the FillGood podcast, and we, you know, if you come on there, you'll find us probably trying to do some gaming with some of the community that we're establishing on there, and we just love to meet and talk to you anyways.
Exactly. So hit us up and get ready for another great episode coming up in the next 2 weeks. We'd like to thank our sound engineer, Wes Underwood, and our producer, Alexia VanWaes, for making this show work. But until then, I am Mike Osgood.
And I am Byron Filler.
And we will catch you on the flip flop. The flippity flop flop. The flip flip flop.